Hey, Red. We're not gonna get away with this, are we? Come on, pull. There. Together again. Sort of.
Well, come on in, everyone. We're just about to get started with Transistor. Well, indeed. This is another game by Supergiant Games, and as you may recall, I played through Bastion.
What a night. You're still in one piece. That's all that matters.
And throughout Bastion, we had a companion of sorts, a narrator. We have something very similar here.
Yikes. Found us already. They want you back, I bet. Well, so do I. Born again.
A bit of a companion on our journeys. The Transistor,
Nice.
whatever it is.
Okay, let's go. Unmarked alley. East of the bay. Think I know where we are. More of these creeps. Look, don't fret, just...
User, command turn initiated, begin planning. This is more or less the gimmick of the game, although calling it a gimmick is kind of misleading, because gimmick has a pretty bad connotation.
Do something. Right.
In this case, the gimmick turns it from... Oops, I got stuck there.
Ready.
The gimmick turns the game from, you know, relatively standard action game to having a bit of strategy. Big thing to note here, right at the start, is backstabbing will do 25%. No, is it 25%? No, 50% extra damage. Yeah, sorry. I'm just bad at math. But command turn allows us to execute a set of other commands before any enemies have a chance to retaliate.
We're clear.
However, executing a command turn leaves you vulnerable while the turn recovers. While turn recovery happens, you cannot execute any commands with very few exceptions.
Hey, up there. Hello.World. Look at all that. We're on the edge of town, 100 blocks away.
Just like Bastion, this game is pretty compelling. And not just for its gameplay, but for all of it.
There's the empty set. Still too close to it. We better get as far from there as possible.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Block party up ahead.
The art style is similar, but a bit different from Bastion. And before they can notice us, set up those in a line, and that'll hit these two, but will not hit this third one. So we'll set up another line to hit that one as well. Actually, no, looks like they're all hit with the first one. Oh well. With that command, they're all done.
We're good.
Pretty fast, pretty simple. It's not going to stay that way for long, I can tell you that much.
She awake.
L. Platt, come closer. Disposition,
You
explosive.
okay? I see. Sure. She wants to come along. We can use her.
Command Spark has been added.
She says hello. Her name's Lillian.
Lillian Platt, I suppose.
Intersection. Let's see.
Obviously the game wants us to go that way, so let's not do that. Explore a bit.
Wish it was raining. Cover your tracks.
Tomorrow's another day in Cloudbank. How would you like it?
Rain's not even on the ballot.
Warm? No, I'd rather have mild.
Mild and inoffensive. Where were we? Watch out. Gross.
These are bad cells. These are tiny process who really aren't much of a threat,
Problem.
but they can easily become overwhelming. Since they are bad cells, they don't drop cells of their own. Yeah. Clearly, Spark has more of an area of effect attack, and used as such, it's very effective.
End of the plaza. It's you. I'm so sorry, Red. They took your voice. I couldn't stop them. But we took something of theirs. Hey, let's just go. Come on, just go. Just... yeah. Damn. Young lady here to see you.
This here's the young lady. The young lady, upon taking any damage, will instantly teleport. So, it's pointless to queue up multiple attacks in command process, or command turn. So, it might be in your best interest to just try and fight her outside of command turn. Young ladies also spawn, instead of a cell that respawns them, multiple bad cells upon death.
Side street, due east. Through there. I think I know a place we could get a ride.
Breakpoints. Areas locked to us if we didn't have the transistor.
This didn't used to be here.
So this area would be locked off if we didn't have the transistor. And also, seems to be on a timer.
Wait a sec.
Of course, command turn is instantaneous. Oops. Actually, oops. Sorry, I thought right click was back. It is not. I can just... There's also, you know, activating is an entirely separate thing that you can do other than attacking.
Let's pretend that never happened.
Yes, I agree with that.
That who I think it is.
P. Moyle. Disposition elusive.
Hey, Mr. Moyle. You in there? It's him, all right, but I can barely hear him.
Command jaunt. I'll be
Interesting.
up front. This is my
Go where it
favorite
suits you, right?
favorite command of the game.
Oh no. Cut off our escape.
It's an extremely useful command.
Come on then, tough guy.
Oh, the knockback from breach is just enough to keep him at bay. It seems not gonna be a hard fight in this case. Also notable that, oops. It's notable that command jaunt will also carry you through. Oops. Command jaunt will carry you through walls. So
Back where they belong.
makes navigating a battlefield very easy, or much easier at least. Gaining a level allows us to select a new function for Transistor. Command bounce or command mask. I'm gonna go with command bounce, but here you can see active slot effect, discharge a ricocheting bolt, and upgrade slot effect adds a chain reactive effect to most functions. So functions can be combined with other functions to create a variety of results, to say the least. Conceal the user's physical self, amplifying the next action taken, raise the potency of most functions when backstabbing. They're both super useful, but bounce is very important for how I play the game, as you'll see momentarily.
We're still here.
An access point
Okay, you're in.
allows us to interface with the mainframe or what have you of the transistor, allowing us to change up the functions. Here you can see just a bit more about the moves that we have. We can see what each of the functions would do if used as an upgrade slot for a different thing. Cause most functions to stun and disrupt, accelerate most functions, raising range and velocity, split and subdivide, and allow most functions to be used during turn recovery. A lot of people like to use jaunt for that, but for me it's necessary to use jaunt in a defensive way. So if we select it, we can see what it does in greater detail. Number of bounces, 5. All these are added to crash. Same thing, except just different, adjusted for the move. and number of jumps for the explosion. But here, since jaunt is not, an attack, it can't really chain to others. So it affects it in a completely different way. Cooldown speed is 190%, so a much faster cooldown, but the distance is halved. I prefer to keep it that way, because even with half the distance,
just one more block. I want to show you something.
It's still pretty easy to evade most attacks, and allows us to, evade more attacks in a shorter span of time.
Okay, there's a... Wait. Back.
Process upgraded designation jerk. In new version 2.0, or new in version 2.0, is retaliation mode. So let's plan out what we want to do. Big thing to note is that using jaunt, you can see how much turn it takes, and then well, it's hard to move when he's there, and moving that far takes about twice as much. So definitely important to note that jaunt is very useful for moving. And oh yeah, retaliation mode. He's protected after taking a single hit. So we'll go with this. We'll jaunt out, and we'll crash that.
Now.
And get behind cover. Oh.
Get away from it.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Here he comes.
Oops. I always forget. Right click uses your most recent function. That was my bad. That was poor planning on my part, honestly. Right click uses the function that you used most recently.
You still hear me?
And because of that mistake, I'm kind of in trouble. Not too bad though. And looks like that's just enough to save our skin. Better grab these before they respawn. Oh. I suppose thanks to my own foolishness we can show this off early. Upon losing your entire health bar, a function is lost.
We still hear you, okay?
And I really feel foolish because that was all thanks to my own stupidity, but
They're gone, but so is this whole block.
let's me show off something new. After accessing, or upon accessing a new access point, we will regain some of a broken function. Overload, repaired in one more access point. So in the meantime, we might as well use this on its own, since it was in an upgrade slot.
Looks promising. Get off your knees.
Yeah, a slight imbalance.
Yeah, good call. That's our way out.
Bike. Condition like new. It's really funny because you see the prim and proper
Okay.
process
64
pillars.
on ramp. 5 blocks down. Take the second right. Do not turn left. And thanks for the lift. Hi. We turned left. Thought we were gonna skip town. We're going back there. You met these things. They do not have a sense of humor. They will track you down, wipe you out, and take whatever's left of me back to those 2-bit Camerata pieces of trash. Look, whatever you're thinking, do me a favor. Don't let me go. Poor bike. Just 10 more blocks to the set.
One thing I love is that our characters are already established. Oh, that's new. 3 times cutting beans. Creep 2.0. Alright. What do we want to do? Well, we don't have Jaunt to get behind him easy. We'll go with that. Just the Crash Breach combo. Pretty killer. Spark. Oops. Okay. Yeah, Spark isn't exactly damaging. It's just fast. And let's do that. That's not enough. Although, one thing that you can take into consideration with your strategies is that using other commands, or is that you can overload the bar. So even though there's not enough space technically here to use Command Breach, we still can, and just overload the turn. So if you take that into account while planning, then you can make your way out of some tough situations. However, Command Turn also takes a bit of extra time to recover.
They were waiting. Thought we'd make good time too.
We made it up fine though. We are 2 characters here. They know each other. And we don't know how they know each other. Come closer. Food's ready to eat. 4.
Must be starving.
Satisfy your craving with a complimentary Junction Jan's gourmet flatbread.
Sea monster's really the only choice here.
But I love Supremo Deluxe. It's funny because there's a different dialogue. There's different dialogue for each of these. Let me go with Supremo Deluxe.
Or that. Just have to get back to your place before it gets cold.
Your meal will be delivered to your address in 8 minutes.
They're hungry too.
And creep over here. And a few of these unnamed processes. One thing it took me far too long to notice is that the processes are named by our friend the Transistor. He'll call them something, and that'll be their designation for, you know, the foreseeable future.
Left ourselves open for some greasy flatbread.
Yeah. Junction Jan's. Satisfaction's guaranteed 38.
Not a soul. Hardly recognize this place without the foot traffic.
Yeah, it adds a bit of comedy and intrigue.
Fertile ground.
That's not cute. Adds a bit of intrigue that the Transistor analyzes everything.
Never seen Goldwalk cleared out.
Access point. Repaired in 1 more access point. Okay, apparently that last one didn't count. But now something new is unlocked to us. The inspect function.
You got on the Camerata shortlist. More than just a name to them now.
So, the inspect function lets us know.
Lillian Platt used to run the OVC. Said she left for personal reasons.
Lets us know a bit about the person behind the process.
It's Nyla. Everybody said she split after Goldwalk Channel opened up.
I'll try and show them all on screen for you guys to read.
Preston Moyle. Guess he went out joyriding one night and never came back.
But there's 2 that are more interesting than the others, obviously. Red. Background. Ranked in the top percentile of Cloudbank's contemporary performing artist for 5 years, Red demonstrated early interest in music despite studying at Traverson Hall. Traverson groomed many of the city's most ambitious civic planners, though Red spent the majority of her time developing the Academy's nascent art program, and was the first on record to select 2 non-traditional disciplines. Records indicate she was reluctant to explain, citing personal reasons. She remained reticent even after gaining the spotlight, and when asked about her past and influences, would often say her work spoke for itself. She did admit, however, that she never wrote her music with the intent to stir controversy. Sorry, all the databases are so prim and proper. Age 27, gender, female. Selections, music Is it linguistics? Yeah, it's linguistics. I can't read. Reason cited declined, and trace status is intact. And Command Breach.
You've reached the hopefully not permanent address of Mr. Nobody.
Age, I don't know. Gender, question mark. Selections declined. Reason cited, still figuring things out. Trace status, non-recoverable. Subject background data corrupted during integration. Reason unknown. Tells us how it works as an active and as an upgrade, and tells us how it works combined with other specific functions. And there we are. We know a bit more about who we are and where we are, but not really all that much more. And I guess that's going to be it for this episode of Transistor. In the next one, we'll be heading down to Goldwalk Channel and be... Oh, I tried to move. And be seeing what there is to see there. But until then, keep on keeping on.